In Astris Scientia, through knowledge of the stars, the Academy motto. This information has been declassified, as the incident of 2404 has come to pass. An incursion in the Gamma Serpentis system by an unknown spatial anomaly. We get a lot of those around here. A whole lot.
I registered the spatial anomaly. It's heading in this direction.
Temporal shields to ready.
Temporal shields are not responding, Captain.
Not responding? That's impossible.
Whatever it is, it punched right through the shields, Captain.
It's like the shields weren't even there, Captain. It's all around us, sir. Any readings on that thing?
Actually, it appears to be an interphasic wormhole. We've encountered similar ones before, over the last 150 years. It's quite bizarre. We should get away from it, Captain, before it hits us. Warp 1, engage.
The warp bubble cannot form, Captain.
The matter-antimatter mix is not functioning. It is completely frozen.
Full impulse. Get us out of here. Impulse engines are not responding yet.
It will be on us in seconds.
Can we blast our way out?
Our quantum torpedoes would be useless against it, Captain. Phasers, too. Phasers would be useless as well, Captain.
Can we use the main deflector dish to fire a beam at it?
If we can do that, let's do it. Main deflector dish is inoperative.
It's coming. How soon until impact?
Moments, sir. Well, that's just prime.
Chimera, thank goodness you're here. It's like this alien place that we're in is trying to reenact the events of 2404. Slightly off, though. Yes, it is off. We're still us from our time period. I seem to be back. There's another version of me out there, I'm sure. But I'm me, I think. I'm supposed to be happily married and somewhere else. What's going on here? This is another one of Cal Hazel's tricks. Or Q. I hope not. It's not exactly the same as that other timeline. There are subtle differences. It's like a recreation, like the aliens got this out of our minds. Just as well. Some of that was a little vague. Yeah. I think maybe it was not as dangerous as we imagined it was. This is not a holodeck or a dream. Something else. I do not sense that it is a dream, or that the aliens are in any way dangerous. Not like that other time. Well, we should find out why we're here. Several corridors just ahead, with alien little openings in them, the floor. Jeffrey's tubes and Jenny rings? Yes, is that what the kids are calling them these days? Jenny rings? I do not call them that. That is Cal Hazel. Or was that Keanu? Was that Matrix? Matrix created them, but Hazel is the one that coined the phrase. It sounds like an 8-year-old came up with it. It might have been named after an 8-year-old. That's silly. Person can't even be in the academy yet. Of course, it's almost like Alexander being 11 and serving on the Starship, the Klingon Empire. It's as silly. Nowadays, his late 40s, early 50s, kind of makes sense, but didn't back then. And now, it wasn't always about that. Yes, but we all know it was the other Abby that encountered the bad guy in the hold. Tried to convince her that the world was ending, and they had a couple to escape. That's stupid. She's no better. The world doesn't just end because someone says so. Especially if a man says it.
I know that, and you know that, but now we all know that. They're making us sort of remember and relive old events. It's quite disturbing.
How long till the anomaly hits?
Moments, Captain.
The anomaly is exhibiting 12 power energy. I don't know what's going on.
Get us out of here, right now. Oh no, this reminds me of a game I played once. Yes. It also reminds me of a game my father played once. Strange room. Yes, I don't recall how it went, but something to do with an Almarine song or something. I don't know the gist of it. Anyway. How odd. What is this place? A series of corridors somewhere on a... I guess it's a ship with an atmosphere. But other than that, I don't know. I, Barclay, will use my superior intellect to figure out what's going on here. Yeah. One time, some aliens made me a superior intellect, but then they took it away. Now it's just normal again. Yeah, that's how that works. That is preposterous and silly. Well, then again, this is silly track, so, yes. Yeah, yes. It seems it is silly. There's several different corridors and smaller corridors, all together in some kind of weird mycelium network kind of thing. Except we're not mushrooms and not microscopic. And we're not an organism. It's not an organism. It's clearly technology, not organics. Not like in those Avatar movies. In fact, I'm not even going to go there. No, we're not going to go there. But this is the Gamma Serpentis star system. It's quite curious. This is where there was a great battle about 20 years ago. A little less than 20 years ago. Starfleet vessels were all taken over by some kind of solar energy device that was on the protostar. I don't think this has anything to do with that, unless somehow the aliens took it from our memory banks. And they are aliens, but so far, nothing malevolent has happened. They seem to have recreated a starship in its entirety. Several starships, actually. But maybe not from that battle, specifically. How odd. They are aware of Federation technology, then. Perhaps they did observe the battle, yes. And are just recreating it because we were in the neighborhood. It's a curiosity, certainly. If the battle had anything to do with this, then, yeah. Then why? Other than, yeah, they just want to know? They want to know things? What's going on? Over 100 years ago, V'ger wanted to learn all that is learnable. Maybe it's something like that. Suppose an alien species travels the galaxy, wanting to learn all that is learnable, revisited by all that's learnable. Interesting idea. Well, the Cytherians pulled the Enterprise D across the galaxy to go meet them, and that's when they superpowered my brain. Of course, that's not to be confused with the episode in which I was turned into a spider thing. Let's not talk about that one. I don't know what the aliens were doing in that one. So why would I be a spider? It doesn't make sense. And why would Deanna Troi be a mermaid? And why would Klingon be... why would Worf be a giant monster? Well, that kind of makes sense. Actually, Riker as a caveman, that is pretty funny. It makes you wonder what Picard would have been. You think the aliens are interested in us specifically? That would suggest they are intrigued by humans. From Starfleet. It's probably Q. Again. Yeah, I hope it's not Q again. That would be annoying. Well, it's not his style, though, is it? I mean, in a slightly previous episode, we encountered companion aliens. It's probably not them. No, that wouldn't make sense either. I'm not sure which ones of us are in the correct time period. I mean, you just know that entire Discovery Universe, Abramsverse thing, and Kelvinverse were all separate timelines. And even Picard was confused. Yes, it was rather confusing. But let's not get into that. We spent a whole 2 episodes back in the day dealing with the first season of that show, quote unquote. Yes. Every time they do another show, it's a new timeline in Cillian space. Yes, kind of confusing. No wonder the aliens are confused. And I bet they are. Utterly baffled. I don't know what the aliens are, but we should go find out. Well, we shouldn't split up. The Academy has taught us anything. It's, yes, safety in numbers. Let's move out. This reminds me of the time that my father lost the Enterprise E. But in that case, it was a super weapon. It was disabling all of the Starfleet fleet in that particular instance. Same star system, though. How long till the anomaly hits? The anomaly will be on us in moments. Yeah. We're kind of screwed, Captain. Had I known how much fun the Gamma Serpentis system was going to be, I wouldn't have stood in bed. Come on, you know how much you love these things. Well, at least it's not making fun of Snyder Bros this time. No, at least it's not doing that. Temporal shields are not responding. Nothing's responding. Then we will face it. Perhaps it is a good day to die. Then we will face it. Perhaps it is a good day to die. I'm too beautiful to die. I need a beer. I thought this was a simulation. Please tell me it's a simulation. What's going on?
Calm down. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for all this. Just don't know what it is.
Captain Tilly, it's an anomaly. It's coming this way. No.
I've never seen anything like this before. Wow. It's kind of pretty. Is this what the second year of Starfleet Academy is going to be like? Yeah.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency. Oh, shit.
Doctor, activate your ECH program and try to figure out what's going on here.
It's a temporal anomaly similar to the ones that the Voyager encountered many years ago, but different. It appears to be silly in nature. Oh no, not them again.
And I feel a weird tenuous connection to it. That's not surprising. Yeah.
We gotta get away from it, Captain Tilly. Temporal shields and all that stuff. Can we use the temporal shields, Captain? So we can get away from it. Temporal shields are offline.
It will be on us in seconds. Well, been nice knowing you for roughly a year. Yeah. I probably should have stayed in the 23rd century. Oh well. Maybe we're going back.
Oh no, where'd Kiriyoshi go? It's another similar room. It's like that movie Cal Hazel didn't actually see. But more colorful and interesting. More psychotic. Weird. Very weird. I kind of expect a little person to come out of a wall and start going, coffee, coffee. The owls are not what they seem. Ever seen that show? Twin Peaks? Yeah? No? Maybe? Yeah. Broccoli. I'm afraid I was a kid when that show was on, Mr. Broccoli. I mean, Barkley. But I do remember the nickname. Yeah, you probably would, Jeremy. What if that Nuss guy's messing with us? No, that's the wrong time period. Who are you two? I am Reginald Barclay, of Starfleet. I'm Jeremy Astor, formerly the Enterprise D. When they made the Enterprise E, they didn't have children on it anymore. Not that it mattered. At that point, I was an adult. Yeah. Heh. But you probably don't know anything about that, do you? I do not. I hail from the distant future. I'm Caleb Muir from Starfleet Academy. It's supposed to be all dramatic and stuff, but I think Captain Ake was all hype. Captain what? She's named after an ache? That makes no sense. Was she a Cillian? Yes, I think she is. At least half Cillian. There are a couple of Cillians in the Academy. For instance, one of my friends, Genesis, she's a Cillian. I shouldn't tell you about the future, though. That breaks the Prime Directive and all that. The temporal Prime Directive, yes. The temporal Prime Directive here doesn't apply. We're on some kind of alien spaceship where they like Star Trek. So at least I think they do. So I'm guessing they're studying us, whoever they are. They are aliens, though. Our friend Kiriyoshi O'Brien disappeared. Can't find him. Whereas I'm the one that disappeared from my ship. We were in the future, but were transported here through an anomaly while exploring the Gamma Serpentis star system. Yeah, and now I'm here. I walked through a door and ended up here. Several goofy little corridors everywhere. We won't be seeing those, though, because they probably can't animate them in this alien ship. So what century are you from, anyway? Starfleet Academy, the TV show? Let me guess. 3195 or 96, somewhere around there. Approximately 5 years after the events of Planet of the Fallen Ones, in which we visited 3190-something, or at least the crew of the Chimera did. I wasn't there, but the Chimera visited. I see, and just think, every time a Cillian has their thoughts create reality, it kind of screws up the timeline a little bit, and then some other variant is created. Take the Picard show, for example, in your timeline. Timeline doesn't even match up. Did you know we're still using Stargates? From TNG? That doesn't make any sense. You mustn't reveal too much about the future, Mr. Muir. It could affect the timeline. Even here, this weird realm. I see. Well, I'm only supposed to be a space cadet, so I don't know all that stuff yet. Let us get out of here and try to find our people. Yours and ours. So, is it through struggle the stars or through knowledge the stars? In your timeline. I was just curious. For historical reference. Through knowledge the stars. But we don't want to affect the future timeline by telling you things. Let's go find the others. It's an anomaly. I hate those.
It appears to be a Class 10 spatial anomaly right here in the Gamma Serpentis system. Yeah, it's heading for us. It seems to be sentient, but that doesn't seem to make sense.
Temporal shields are not responding yet.
The anomaly is increasing in size and heading for us. Even the anomaly gate didn't stop it. Wow, it's really aggressive for some reason.
Maybe it wants to eat us. Maybe it's hungry. I don't know. Hope not. It's heading for us, though. It's going to be here any minute. Prepare a full torpedo spread and shoot them at it. Fire. That's impossible, Captain. The torpedo launcher is inactive, as well as helm control and navigation. They just went offline.
We're sitting ducks. Great.
Brace for impact.
Oh, wonderful. We're going to break this new refit ship just after the warranty.
It's on warranty, Captain. Oh, no. What is that weird anomaly out there?
Aren't all anomalies weird, Mr. Mahoney?
Never mind that. How long until it hits us? Wow, like that time that you guys recovered me off that Locarno planet. Yeah. Then I went on to command the Chimera. No, it's more like the time we lost the ship. So, in that other timeline, where we found the Ventura saucer section crash landed on that planet. And then we brought it back. That was not the same saucer section as the Enterprise D, even though the lettering on the top said Enterprise D. Yeah, for copyright reasons and whatnot, yeah. And we're here now, like it's a trans-dimensional thing with space aliens and stuff. And I wasn't even in those episodes until later. Well, technically, I kind of was as Thad, the Cillian, but then, yeah, and that was later me as Jay Birdman. And what are we doing in this thing? What is this? It's like a tesseract. It's like in that movie Cubed or something. We have a Borg ship. I don't think it's a Borg ship. I think we're just captured by some weird aliens who want to study us. Maybe they want to give us the probe. Kind of hoping they will. Hope they're studly aliens. I mean, hot cat-suited aliens. Star Trek was always doing that, you know, cat-suited aliens. Yeah. Yeah, they was always doing that. It always kind of boosted the ratings for a little while. Yeah. Kind of like when they brought Worf onto Deep Space Nine. Yeah. So that Dax would have a case of the not gays. Yeah. After that other episode where she had a case of the gays, which is okay if she does. I mean, it's the future. Why wouldn't she? You know, Garrick and Bashir were totally an item. Yeah. And then Bashir was an item with Kira. Yeah. Certainly not with Odo. That was just dumb. Come on. Not only were the actors way different in age, that was not going on. Well, in Hollywood, they do that all the time. They're like, yeah, this makes sense. Sure. They never really handled romance too well in Star Trek. Everyone knows that. But yeah, I agree with you on that Dax thing. They brought in Worf because they wanted her to be with the most manly man they could find. Ridiculous. Big brutish Klingon guy. I don't know about that, but you're probably right about that Garrick thing. That guy was a little odd, but in a good way, in the future and all. He was like a spy and stuff, but it was really obvious he was a spy. Like, yeah, just grilling him for information and stuff. Oh, doctor, nice we've met. Yeah, and then there's that Picard show, which was like, yeah, we'll just say it's the future. And oddly enough, we won't mention the Abrams version, even though they're related, because it's Kurtzman verse. It's related, and I didn't mention Spock at all. Picard show didn't bring him up. So it's like that whole Spock thing never happened, and Data never commanded the Enterprise, and Spock never used the jellyfish to stop the supernova, which doesn't make any sense anyway. I just read about it online, in fact. It's before we got here. Yeah, it all doesn't make any sense. Then again, I know it's science fiction and all that, but at least it's got to make a certain amount of sense, you know? Can't just be completely out there. Yeah, the Jad Vash. Why did they blow up their own star? Was it by accident? What are you doing? That didn't really make any sense. And then they blew over it. Yeah, only in this silly Trek realm did they actually deal with what happened to General O correctly. Hey, I gotta give these guys credit for that. Their version was hilarious. Yeah, so it was rather exciting, wasn't it? An empowered woman, differently abled, who fights off General O with her wits and her spaceship from the seat of a chair with rockets on it. That's awesome. It's just really, really awesome. That General O-Lady got it coming, too. Fleets from all over the galaxy came to Bajor to defend the Federation, and yeah, she got totally pasted. Yeah. I don't mean that in any kind of weird context. No, I mean like blown up. Oh, that sounds bad too. I mean like destroyed, decimated. There, that sounds better.
Well, I hope we're just not going to come in here to reminisce about Star Trek episodes in the Cillian universe. That'd be kind of screwy. But then again, the story is kind of screwy. We should go find the others if we can.
Yes, there's another door over there. Let's walk through it. Find out what's going on.
Oh, wait a minute. Where are Terima and Genesis? They're gone too. Great. Now what are we gonna do? Maybe the aliens only wanted them for some reason.
Oh, I thought they'd take me because I'm so cute. Disappointing.
They're probably just getting lost somehow.
Even in those tight corridors? Yeah, you know. Jeffrey tubes.
Well, let's go find the others. This is a screwy place. Let's go find the others. This place is screwy. Not half as screwy as how the turbolifts worked on Discovery. They were like a cathedral and like elevators flying everywhere and the mass shifting and stuff. That was weird. I'm not sure how that would even work, considering the ship wasn't that big. I think the holographic people came from this time period, and they keep rebooting themselves. They started in 2025 or 2026. And yeah, the corridor thing doesn't make any sense. And neither did the turbolifts. Even the current ones kind of don't make any sense. You know, and the atrium thing that's on the top of the ship doesn't really match actual reality. Yeah. I wonder why they didn't invite the Keonian guy. Well, I guess it wouldn't make sense to invite him. Just as well, he was kind of annoying. Don't tell him I said that. Or do. I don't care. Well, he is kind of annoying. Let's go find the others. Stay close. We don't want anyone else to disappear. How'd I end up here? Oh no, it's one of them corridor things. Walking around what seems like for hours. There's somebody who looks kind of like Janeway and Troy, but they ain't. But like younger Janeway and Troy. This is weird. Time trap planet. Screwy planet. That's it. I'm Genesis Life, the daughter of a space admiral. That's impressive in my timeline. I'm Beckett Merida, daughter of a space admiral and a captain. They used to be crewmen aboard the Enterprise D when I was a child. Then I pretended that I was at the academy with Wesley Crusher and the whole gang, even though that was later. It don't make no sense. He already left with the Traveler by then. Yeah, that really doesn't make any sense. Just thought I'd point that out to you, even though I'd never met you before. You're funny. You're funny. Not as funny as me, of course, but you're funny. Oh dear, the aliens have brought me here. I resemble a Kaler, but of course I'm not her. That would be silly. No, I'm Miral Paris. I was born on the Voyager as it was returning to the Alpha Quadrants. You probably don't even know what that is because you're from the future or something. I am Terima Sidal, a descendant, one of your characters from your crew. Many hundreds of years removed, of course. Anyway, my counterpart is actually the same age as one of the members of your other crew, which is really confusing, but that's what's going on. Yeah, they sort of cast me in that Starfleet Academy story because I kind of looked like her, so they're like, yeah, I totally will be her. You know, it really doesn't match. They could have asked Cal Cat about that. They didn't. They just went with it. They also had a Koinonian in there, but they called him a Keonian. But we won't go into that because he's not here with us. He wasn't on the Athena when we were transported here. I'm rambling. Yes. Overcompensating for something, I'm sure. Tell me, do you have a mate? I'm just curious. Girls are always asking about them, kind of thing. Yes, I have a mate. Ooh, he's ridiculously built for someone of his age. Yeah, like he's been working out in the gym for like forever. It's ridiculous. But oh well. Anyway. But then there was this other time period where this crazy incident happened where I had to use my mental powers. And I was like one of the X-Men characters somehow. I used my mental powers to free the crew and the ship. And afterward, my brain kind of melted for a while, and I was comatose and stuff. But then when I came back around, I wasn't really interested in him anymore. Yeah. And then I tried to hit off on him, and he was like, "Oh, I don't want to do you because you're kind of out of it and kind of drunk, like space drunk and stuff." Yeah. So he didn't. So we only did it once. Yeah. Remind you of anything? But other than that, I don't know why I'm here. Well, if it's any consolation, Terima, I wanted to do him too, but it didn't work out. He chickened out. Like, well, you were comatose. He wanted to do me. Yeah, we didn't. I didn't get naked. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. This is similar to what happened in 2404. Yes, except in that version of the story, one of our crew was trapped inside a space hold with a bad guy who wanted to seduce her. It didn't work out too well. She kicked him in the nuts. Yes. But later on, the other girl from our crew, who had the same first name, for some reason they got confused, and the bad guy showed up thinking it was her, even though that's not really possible. And there was some confusion there, but everything worked out in the end. But that's, I wonder why the aliens are reliving this particular time period. Are they just nostalgic, or what? What are they? Clearly they are Trekkies of some kind. It's possibly even related to some of the anomalies over the years that you've had. Pre-other Starfleet and pre-The Burn. The burn, that sounds like a rash I had one time. I had to go see the ship's doctor about it. Took several weeks to cure it. Yeah. Well, that's not what I meant. And who are you, anyway? Doesn't Starfleet record the adventures of Captain Beckett Mariner? Boimler? Oh, so in the future we have that wrong. It says Commander Beckett Mariner. Yeah, it also says Commander Nog, for some reason, even though we know full well he did more than just be a commander. Yeah. Yeah, that plaque on the back of the ship is really wrong in a lot of ways. It's also odd that it only lists people up to the 2400s. It's weird. Not familiar with the plaque on your ship, but you best update it. By the way, what century are you guys from anyways?
We come from 3195. Well, 3196, thereabouts. One of those years.
Even though it kind of didn't match up when we started, because we pretended like a 3192, but it really couldn't have been. And then our commander, Ake, you'd probably like her. She's kind of like you. Except not physically like you, just acts like you. But anyway, she was like, through struggle, the stars, we shall call that the Academy logo. And Aspera Science, through struggle, the stars, she said, and all that, in the Academy speech and all that. Because in our century, it's through struggle, the stars. How about you? Through knowledge, the stars, or science. Always has been. I don't think it was ever the other way. Are you from the Mirror Universe? No, I don't think so. I think we're from the Kurtzman timeline, or a variant of it. I mean, everything after Discovery clearly is, because even the Picard show didn't mention Spock, as I looked up the history files. I was, after all, in the War College. War College? That don't make no sense. Why would they have a War College? It's just Starfleet. A quasi-military organization based loosely on the Coast Guard and NASA and the Space Force. Yeah, it had nothing to do with wars, except when there's a space battle going on. Yes, the Abrams verse and the the various news shows, yes. Where each season of Disco, they would find some kind of universe-destroying weapon. Even in that Section 31 story, they'd go in there and they'd be like, the universe-destroying weapon, and it would end up not doing that. Or if it was doing that, then it would end up, it was confused. Or it was a kid. It was like an alien kid. He was mad, the alien kid. And he was like, and he created it somehow. Because he's a Q, I guess. They never really explained that. I guess the latest one was even worse, from what I read of the timeline there. The latest one was like, this Nuss guy creates a bunch of, mines. Space mines, basically. Omega particle mines, that was it. And he puts them out there, and he's all like, check out these space mines, and I'm going to mine the Federation, even though space is vast. And that makes no sense. But at least they took Cal Cat and Mark Card's advice at the end, and they said, Oh, well, if it was that easy to mine the area, it's that easy to turn them off. Here, this is a MacGuffin that turns it off, and they just turn it off. You know, now that you summarized that, it sounds really, really stupid. But I still like the show. I was in it, of course. Well, you ain't hologram Janeway, but you kind of look like her. Let's go find the others. This is getting kind of screwy. MacGuffin devices. Omega particle. How would they even have an Omega particle mine? They take one of them Omega particles out of the spaceship, it'll blow up. That's just, okay, that's silly. This is like a Silly Track episode that I read once. One with Janeway and crew going back in time to San Jose, California. And they found an Omega bomb on the planet and disarmed it. It's similar. It seems that your new show has been cribbing from Cowcat yet again. Well, I thought the part about the alien plants left in the dormitory, that was original. Yeah, I mean, he didn't do that. Probably because of budget concerns and couldn't actually animate that. Otherwise he would have. It's like we're all astronauts on some kind of Star Trek. She said it. She said the thing. You know, it's not going to go viral. You do realize that, right? Nobody watched the last one. Not that it was a good episode, but one of your stories, yeah. Hey, look who's talking. Your show was derivative from the beginning. Your show didn't need more spice. It needed more story. I've seen it too, because in our timeline it's a TV show we watched on the televisions, and on the YouTube channels, and on the internet, and stuff. Know what else was screwed up? I do have a descendant there. Yeah, there's a Dax on the ship. Yeah, I'm descended from my character. She's apparently partly Cardassian, and Trilled, and human. Yeah, apparently my descendants are gonna get with a Cardassian, and a human, and a Trill. And he's gonna, like, get whoopee with them. I'm okay with that kind of stuff. I'm okay with you guys having a Klingon Jem'Hadar crossbreed. I mean, that's alright. Don't bother me none. I wanted to see more of her making out with that other lady, Captain Lady. Nom, 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 nom. She said, give me some sugar, baby. Well, of course she did. Yeah, but if they'd done that, it would have been pandering. I think they didn't want to go that far. Let's go find the others. Yes, let's do that. I love you. Not now. We're in striking distance. Fire everything. It is a good day to die.
Phasers and torpedoes are non-operational, Captain.
Cast. All right. Prepare ramming speed.
Hey, you really wanted to get out of paying that warranty, didn't you?
Enough. Enough of that. The anomaly will be here in seconds. We will die. Oops.
I don't know if it'll kill us or not. Check into impact. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Hell, this place is so weird. What are you gonna do now? Can't go back in? And my uniform, Matt. It's the current one, not the one from back then. If they're trying for cosplaying, they ain't doing it right.
I do not think they changed their uniforms much.
Place is unusual, I'll give it that. Even if it does have Jeffrey's tubes and Jenny rings. Or some facsimile, similar to those on starships. I'm sure it's meant to comfort us somehow.
There you are. I seem to have lost the others. The others I found. Oh well, now I'm here. Strange planet. Maybe they intend to do some sort of psychology experiments on us. Well, I particularly like being in a psychology experiment. It's a little weird. I don't like not knowing what's going on.
The tricorders are useless, but there's an alien up ahead. You can see him.
Be on your guard. I have no idea what we're encountering here.
Can you solve for me the riddle? A V'ger is a child. If you can answer the rest of that, and the reference, then you go on to the next part. of our experiment. I believe it's a reference to Star Trek the Motion Picture, or the mission of 2272. Which really should have been 2271. A child. Yes, Captain. A child. Evolving, learning, instinctively needing.
Needing what? Your child is about to wipe out every living thing on Earth. Know what he suggests we do? Spank it.
Yes, Captain. You have heard of it. Then you are Silians and not Koinonians and not Chionians either. Yes. There are no Chionians among you. There may be a Koinonian. There's definitely a Valley Religious among you. Ah, very clever. You may go to the next level. There may be other tasks for you to fulfill before this is over. Yes. You're a very, very screwy, weird-looking Bolian Scotty guy. I thought we were rid of those zombies. Oh.
He's not a zombie, he's just blue. Let's go. How long do we have before the anomaly hits us?
Moments, Captain Dueck. I suggest you pray, or whatever it is you do. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll work right now.
How can the Q did not foresee such things? This is ridiculous. An anomaly? It's just an anomaly, isn't it? I'm back. I'm back. But it's like I've done this before. What's going on? Oh, no. How's on the Amatile? I get here. Captain Nog at your service. Well, don't look at me. I was on the Rhode Island. They finally made me a captain in this universe. But it was another universe. Maybe, really, I'm actually a commander. Because they really didn't want to promote me. Yeah, just because. I don't know. Or maybe I'm some sort of dimensional being. It's probably just because you're not very good at your job. Stop that. Stop that. This is serious. It's a strange anomaly. Temporal shields are inactive and weapons are inoperable.
We'll be screwed in a matter of minutes. Brace for impact.
I heard, because I have big ears, that there's a spaceship Athena in the distant future that only has me listed as a lieutenant commander. That's really stupid.
I wouldn't worry about it, Nog. They probably just got it wrong. We could run into them again and tell them, hey, change that name back to Captain Nog or something.
Well, I should be on that plaque as demigod of the universe, of everything. And anything involving wood. It's an in-joke. Because I can't quit that girl. I just can't.
I thought it was Hertzman you were into.
But there's this guy called the Godfather that keeps appearing and going like, don't do that. It's really annoying. You ever run into him? I bet you have. He's very handsy, more so than me.
I believe I have run into him. But I don't mind. Just as long as it stays cordial.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. In one other timeline, there's this Gamelt guy who's kind of similar to me. I think he's wearing green, though. Well, just so you know, that guy never, ever pitched to Star Trek. Calicat, on the other hand, I think he did, back in the 90s. Yeah. Now, let's not go into that again. This will drag on like fluff and filler. That is Touché, Q. And I am also Q. Where did our powers go? Do not know. Very odd. Whoever is controlling this has the ability to nix our powers somehow. And it's not a green sun. You know that doesn't really exist. Yes. Well, that would only work if we were Kryptonians. But that's also ridiculous. Well, it was present as far back as the 60s when they didn't understand how that stuff worked. Yeah. You know, like classic Trek. That is what this story's about. Classic Trek, right? And Next Gen and all the spin-offs. Yes, Mr. Kim, of course. That's what it's about. The aliens are testing us using Star Trek. Not entirely sure why. You must complete the labor so you can go on to the next level. Failing to do so will mean an accidental deletion from the program. Yes. It would be unfortunate if you were accidentally deleted. But do not worry. You are not going to be destroyed. You must answer a Star Trek riddle poem thing. Then you may go. Oh yeah? You're kind of screwy. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? What kind of poem? It's not really a poem. It's limerick. You need to finish the sentence, basically. For I dipped into the future. That's the thing. For I dipped into the future. For I dipped into the future as far as the eye could see. Saw the vision of the world and all the wonder that would be. The man with a butt for a head is right. He may go. Boing.
That was too easy. Why my powers aren't working right. I do like the idea of a strong female character surviving. Why does he get to go just for that? Come on. Quoting Shakespeare, really? Come on. Give me a test. I'm a strong female warrior.
But your knowledge of trivia is limited to your generation. Yes. You're only a millennial, premillennial character. You do not know these things.
What? How did you guess my age?
We know many things. But yes, I give you a riddle from a non-Star Trek related thing as well. Yes, I give you many things. I give you a riddle. A limerick. Something that isn't Star Trek. Something you might understand. Somebody once told me the world is going to roll me. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. What's the rest of it?
Oh, come on. Psst. She was looking pretty dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead.
Very well, Vod Dueck. You may go. Boing. Boing. Oh, come on. We can't all just guess riddles. We're going to run out of them after a while. All right, test me. I'm a Q. I have an incredible IQ. Get it? Q, IQ. All right, then. Q and your son, I guess. All right, Q boy. Do you know this one? On the Voyager, long time ago, before you were born, which you shouldn't really know about. Captain Janeway was set upon by your father, Q. Suddenly, there was a cute dog in the scene. And then Lady Q appeared. The incident that transpired there was very silly. But there was a joke in there. Repeat it. You see, what happened is, before, he wouldn't know because he wasn't around yet. No. See, what happened is, I had conjured a dog. And there was Janeway, and I was trying to seduce her. It rather didn't work. Lady Q showed up and said, "Get away from that dog." And then held back the puppy And then she said, "Not the puppy." And I was surprised. Oh. Yes. Aye. Well, that is correct. You cues may go. Doing. What was I looking? Kim is a loser. Huh. Oh. How soon? Shadow Dancer here. How soon till the anomaly hits us?
The anomaly will be on top of us in moments. It appears a sense of deja vu has gripped us. Not this. Anything but this. The incident of 2404. But how? Well, we didn't recover from it, so we're going to relive it. Well, that's just great. But in this other timeline, I'm married now. That's so dumb. No, it can't happen this way. It can't. What were you worried about? In the other timeline, it was the other girl anyway.
Yeah, it totally was. Get us out of here. Temporal shields online. My key pairs aren't working. Oh no.
Well, don't look at me. I was playing Warshingens in that other story. I'm actually just Sandra Talisman. I can't fix it. My powers disappeared too.
Impact in seconds, Captain. Well, that goes the neighborhood.
This planet is strange. But we said that so many times, if it was a drinking game, we'd be in trouble. I don't know what the aliens' intent is, except to study our dialogue as Star Trek people. There must be a psychological element going on here. Just don't know what it is. Fascination, perhaps. Curiosity, an obsession. Could be anything. A fetish. I hope not. Now that I suggested it, I probably shouldn't have. Oh, I know about those. The Borg is kind of my current kink. I played Warshingus in the other timeline. But you knew all along that I was Sandra Talisman, right? I mean, come on. Who else would I have been? And future Kestra and all that. Sandra Talisman. That makes more sense. It's like, yeah, I obviously is the other person playing. Yeah. They mix things up, you know. We tended to do that. So here we are, and we know of some future people that are out there. They keep coming in and out of the corridors and things.
You know, I don't know why I'm here. And it's kind of weird, but I'm here. Against this backdrop, I kind of look like Skeletor from that new E-Man movie. But we're not going to go into that. Because this is already, I think, good enough as it is. We don't need to. Hi, Nini Nimbrula. Hi. And Sandra Talisman is my daughter. No, really, she is. I am Larry Talisman, better known as Shadow Dancer, also known as Michael Talisman. Back in the COL days, there was lots of tent sneaking that I could tell you all about. Well, I won't. Because only the other ones would know about that anyway. I was never doing that. No. I'm sure she wasn't either.
Oh, no, I wasn't doing any tent sneaking. Although the guru probably thought I was with several of those guys. I wasn't interested in them. They were all afraid of me, and you know why? Because my stepdad was that master guy. That's why. I couldn't get a date there, even if they had a no-dating rule, and had not obeyed it. I still couldn't have gotten laid. Wouldn't happen. Even if they didn't have a no-dating rule. It's kind of annoying. Oh, well. Maybe the aliens like the idea that we're in the presence of cadet people from other timelines and stuff. Maybe they're after Teen Spirit, like in that other timeline. That'd be screwy, but they're aliens. I like where this is going. But I don't think they're necessarily after Teen Spirit. Otherwise, they just would have grabbed all the youngest people and left us on the ship. No, I think they're just curious about us in general. Teen Spirit. Well, if you're over 20, how's that going to work? Well, they're trying to reenact the incident of 2404. In that particular incident, someone similar to me and someone similar to Leo Starro were trapped in a shuttlecraft on a planet in the system with no means of escape. Yes, and then he tried to convince me that we would be the last people to survive, so that we had to couple, which was bullshit. And then it's about the time that I kicked him in the nads. Yes. If they're trying to reenact that, then they've done it wrong. It already would have happened by now. Ah, yes, the kicked in the nads story.
I am the alien. One of you can leave the chamber if ye answer me riddle. Or me limerick or something. I'm kind of running out of them, though, since I visited the other people.
Okay, I'm game. What do you got?
In the series finale of Star Trek Discovery, was it alpha canon or beta canon? Meaning, actually in the show or fan canon? For the artifact commander lady to be actually originally intended to be Michelle Nicole's playing the part, but then she passed away so that they couldn't use her.
I couldn't possibly know that. That sounds like a cool idea, but I doubt it's canon. It's probably beta canon. Yes, it's beta canon.
You are allowed to leave.
That's kind of lame. What if she didn't know to look up Wikipedia on it?
Oh no, a space-time anomaly is coming. Oh, my brethren, we are in trouble.
Now we're your brethren? Right. Oh no, not again. The time has come yet again for the other timeline incident. The incident of 2404.
Fascinating. I'm not familiar with this one. Well, it's coming after us, and we're screwed. Crusher, save us, or die with us. Darn it. Darn it. It has nothing to do with the loom or anything. I believe that Wesley Crusher is having a nervous breakdown. Excellent. Yes.
You know what? You really are an ass.
Oh, I thank you. The anomaly will be on us in seconds. Activate the temporal shields. Oops, they didn't work. Torpedoes activate. They didn't work either. Phasers. All the other MacGuffin devices activate. Activate reality bending devices. They didn't work either. Darn it. Wesley, come back. Wesley. One side traveler. Yes. Set a course for out of here. Anywhere else. Over here, I don't know how to fly one of these spaceship things. I'll do it. Let's see, it can't be that hard. The space-time anomaly seems to be headed this way. We're all very screwed right now, aren't we? Yes. Oh, yes. Let's see, helm. It's coming back. It's coming back. Yes. Critical. Get on the navigation console and activate the left button on the right side of the screen. Why should I listen to you? You bugger dingoes. Crikey. Well, you should, because they're not very competent. Now, you get over there and activate the device. Press the sensor sweep array. Yeah, do it now. Quickly. Wesley. We must rescue Wesley. What the hell is wrong with you? You in love with him or something? I mean, not that there's a problem being in love with a guy, but yeah, aren't you like thousands of years older than him? It's a little weird, just saying. I never How dare you? I never. Well, I did, but almost never. I don't want to know where I came from. There was no dating rule for students. Now, get us out of this anomaly, some of you. I don't want to know. There should be no dating rule for you, just like there were for our students at the Marshall Sportiest place. What are you talking about? Are you high? No, I am not on drugs. That's interesting. It appears to be headed for us. Yes, it was only then that we realized, right now, right here, that we were well and truly... That's the biggest butthole I've ever seen. Not that I've seen a lot of buttholes, but damn. It was more like a vortex than a butthole. Very well. Take us in. Ha ha. And let the universe be damned. Arr, arr. You are really weird, just so you know. Look who's talking. You wanted to shag Wesley Crusher. He was barely 18, you weirdo. What the hell's wrong with you? Now that he's like 50-something, it's still weird. Look who's talking to you. You didn't stop your master from dating a man 30 years younger than her. Ha! And one of her students, even though he was her age, that's disgusting. Even more so than what I did. Touche, touche. I read that case, it was in the history books. Your master wasn't even legally married to that guy. They were pretending. The court threw it out because it was declared a mistrial. It's like, how can you charge somebody for alimony when they ain't married to you? Stupid. This isn't about that. Zring! Here comes the anomaly. Maybe Wesley's inside it. Wesley! Nee! Oh, God. There are no riches in this ship. Why, back in the day, I was part of a glorious and well thought out martial arts school and, well, cult. Yes. We dreamed it up after we came to California. It was wonderful. I miss that. Well, I guess the Travelers are kind of like a cult, but it's not religious. Yeah. And Trekkies should be considered a cult. Yes. Yes. I made it funny.
You boys really need to get out more. It's kind of ironic.
It's Wesley. Yes. It's not that I adore Wesley. I have for years. It's not that I'm into him because I swing that way. It's because I'm into him because he's Wesley. We began as a cult of two, and then we're part of the Travelers. Only Sam Clerk back in the day from the Pine Hill years, the teacher guy, he was like, no, the Traveler can't possibly be that way. No, it can't be the case. You guys couldn't have predicted that over that Pine Hill Q and all that stuff. Oh no, but they were right. Those kids were right. Yes, I did. I was in love with Wesley. I'm not sure if I'm still in love with him. Now that it's been so many years. But maybe I am.
It's not that you're queer for him. It's the subtext. That's what's wrong. You started infatuating over him when he was not yet 18. You were weird. That's why. It nothing to do with the other stuff.
Well, I come from a planet where there are no limits. If you'll excuse me. I mean, technically, Starfleet is not a military. It's a quasi-military. And it has rules, I imagine. I was disobeying them and breaking them at every turn. I even took Wesley with me in 2370 to explore the galaxy. It's true. It's the Traveler. Yeah, it's true. All of it. The Traveler and I have been everywhere. No, I don't really swing that way. Just for him I do. Oh, there's an alien.
The other alien was telling you to quote from Star Trek various riddles. I will merely be logical about it. After all, it is through knowledge of the stars, not through hardship of the stars. And that is just wrong. We seek to better ourselves.
Then we seek the same thing, but I seek riches, and to bring back the glory of the Grandmaster and the cult and all that. We seek similar things, yes. What is this ship worth? Imagine a lot of money, even if they don't have money in the future.
It's not that they don't have money in the future, it's that they don't need it. They certainly do have money and credit, and other alien species use it. They just don't need it in the future. See, they're self-sufficient. The poverty and want on Earth is gone. There's paradise there in the future, the 25th century. Not so much in the 2026 period. No, in the 2026 period, things are still screwed up. World War III hadn't happened yet. All that other stuff. But certainly as of late, they've been trying to cause it to happen early. And in some time periods, from what I understand, they moved some dates up several years, even though they don't make sense. Like, for instance, Strange New Worlds. Yes, that kid in that one episode could not have been Khan. That's screwy. Well, there wouldn't be a Khan serving on the ship either. So yes, Strange New Worlds is a different timeline. Discovery Universe is a different timeline. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. So it doesn't matter what the ship looks like. It doesn't look anything like the Enterprise from classic Trek. Because it isn't. It's another timeline.
Star Trek, like Transformers, is a multiverse. And we're in it. These aliens are studying us. Part of their mycelium network thingy they created. It's all very, very wonderful and pretty. The whole ship from the outside is quite pretty.
It is beautiful, but not as beautiful as when the Traveler and I did everything. Well, actually, what was more beautiful is in that other timeline where I was like, I shall conjure 2 other versions of myself on the bridge of a starship, and we'll make love. That was more beautiful, because it involved the 3 of us, because we knew ourselves intimately. Oh my. And of course my counterpart is totally straight. Just that my character, no, not so much.
The riddle for you shall be simple. I guess the limerick or riddle you shall answer from me shall be thus. Zing! Boing! Oh no, somebody came in here.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
Wrong part of the ship, I guess. The hologrammatic doctor has interrupted me. I will go. What the heck?
I once heard a story. It was a ridiculous story, now that I think about it. There was a girl in the story, and another girl, in the girls' restroom in high school. Yes, apparently the one girl confronted the other girl and was tormenting her, told her, yes, if you renounce your faith, I will let you leave this restroom. But she continued to torture her. She did not relent. Apparently the office didn't do anything about it. Doesn't really make any sense, but that's the story. Sounds like a prosecution fantasy. That didn't happen where I'm from. If that happened where I'm from, that one girl would have snip, snap, snippity, snap the other one real good. Yes, I'm sure there would have been lots of karate chopping and kicking. Well, if her faith was that weak, that one person could influence what she says, then she wasn't very faithful to begin with. Besides, that never happens. Nobody would do that. That's just someone's fantasy. So, we're here. But where are we? I mean, it looks like the bridge, but clearly it's a metaphor for something else. Messing with us, this anomaly. I wonder what it wants. Figuring that I should get back to my husband, of course, the other timeline, because I'm Woods, Commander Woods, and I should be getting back to him. But in this other timeline, it's 4 years earlier. Didn't you get married in only 2025? Hasn't been that long. By our calculations, it's also 2026. It's not really 2408. It's not really 2404, even. It's just the timeline. It's weird. It's messing with us. It's been that way for quite some time. But now, we're confronted with it directly. Like, I'm not even supposed to be here, really. But you were there. From the 2020 on. Just in the background. Yes, I was there. Influencing and inspiring the other characters. Even the ones that kind of look like us. I was always there. Me and that rumbly girl and some of those other ones. Inspiring the characters. Kind of like how that Muse lady inspired Jake Sisko to write that book, but then he never published it. Yeah. How did he become a famous author by never publishing a book, ever? How does that work? Oh yes, I have knowledge about the future. I saw that Starfleet Academy series, and I just know. Yeah, really? That'd be weird if we ran into them. Yeah, then we can ask them.
But should we? Probably change the future. Then we disappear. No, we wouldn't disappear. The paradox here is it's not that kind.
It's not predestination or anything. It's more like a bootstrap paradox. Since when did she get so smart about that? Whatever this is, it's intelligent. It wants us to relive past events. I'm not sure why. What is the point? Is it just another silly child playing with his action figures? Or a man-child. A man-child could be worse. I should be able to sense it with my mental powers. But as you all know, my little sister's the one that has more mental powers than me. Not sure why that is. However, that story you were telling, that was from my brother. He's not in Star Trek. Yeah, not everybody's in Silly Trek. At this point, I was a first-year cadet. Well, almost second, I guess. I would have been in the academy. Not in 2401, because I would have been a little too young, but 2404 I would have been. The Picard show was kind of wrong about that. 2401, 2402. They wanted to make it 2401 in the other story, but yeah. Maybe that's what the anomaly's mad about. It has happened before. I don't know if the anomaly's mad, necessarily, Kestra. I think it's just curious. I sense that it's curious about us. Doesn't know what to make of us. Perhaps it's from those aliens in the wormhole and stuff. That'd be cool. And it'd be non-corporeal, physical entity. No, it clearly has... No, wait. It clearly has temporal things in mind. It clearly is linear. Yeah. Sensors, Miss Wrecker. Let's find out where we are. Bleep, bleep, bleep. We are still in the Gamma Serpentis system. The anomaly is well over an AU in diameter. It's rather large. Apparently has swallowed up several other vessels from different time periods and locations. Starship location. Well, this is Starship locations. Okay, what does that mean? And it used to be called Silly Track, but, you know, silly in space, all that. Never quite understood it. But not mycelium space. Not that. Not the spore drive. And not like the time that Kirk's friend Gary Mitchell turned into a god. We're not even at the edge of the galaxy. And how did they get to the edge of the galaxy in the second episode of that show? It should have taken them like 30 years to get back from there. The show would have been 30 years long. Oh well, they didn't think about that back then. Did they? Yeah, I always wondered about that. How'd they get to the edge of the galaxy? How'd they do that? Even the top of the galaxy. Yeah, how'd they do that? Early Star Trek was not so concerned with the minutiae of where things actually were. If it sounded cool, they did an episode about it. Even if it didn't make sense. If it sounded cool, that's where they went. Ooh. Hence all the weird stellar names that are actually like bright giant stars around there. Well, it is the 60th anniversary. Why not fill the entire story with minutiae? Yeah. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. Okay, let's let this thing play out and see what happens. I just hope it isn't Q. Ugh. I just hope it isn't Q. Ugh. God. Now that I said it. Ugh. Well, it's not half as confusing as that Supergirl movie, where there was green stars in it. You know, that only works in the comic books. There are no green stars. What they meant is it was a blue star. And you'd think that she'd be hyper-powered if Supergirl was in a blue star system. Because it would be the law of averages and the law of energy output and all that. So a bright young blue star would be significantly more powerful and energetic than a yellow sun, which gives her powers. And a red sun would take some of the powers away, because it's smaller and dimmer. So the law of averages and the law of motion and all that would indicate, you know, that the star would she'd be, yeah, like a demigod, basically. Hence your reference to Q. You're good. Really. Gee, thanks. I try. A blue star. Yeah, that's right. There are no green stars. It's all the light of the spectrum. It would look like a yellow star, actually. Or it would look blue, depending on how hot it was. Yeah, because the color green from the aided eye. I don't know where this is going. Well, I'm registering several other life forms within the anomaly field. They appear to be gathered within a megastructure within the anomaly. Oxygen atmosphere. Oxygen, nitrogen, all that stuff. Hey, don't ask me why Star Trek people can actually all breathe the same air. That is quite extraordinary.
This planet is annoying. Very annoying. I have not seen the aliens anywhere. They are probably here somewhere. They're not interested in us. I wonder why not.
It would seem the aliens are more fixated on the younger people. For some reason. Not us. Maybe they're weird. Maybe they're creepy. I don't know.
This incident is different from the incident of 2404. The aliens seem to be obsessed with having us here. And from different timelines. Because this is different. Like it's a separate timeline. Shouldn't really matter. This is like a dream, but that would be stupid. No, a shared hallucination. A holodeck program or something. That too would be annoying. But no, it's temporal, isn't it? It most certainly is temporal, Mr. Roshenko. Most simply is. It is definitely happening as a temporal incident, Mr. Roshenko. However, I do not know the outcome. But, as one of the other Vulcanoid characters in the story, I can think about it logically. Perhaps the aliens are in need of our essence somehow. That would be disturbingly weird and annoying. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I lost track of my team, only to find your team. Oh, man. There's so many corridors around here. It's really weird. Big corridors, little corridors. Really small ones to crawl through. Ship is weird. Yeah. So which one are you? Caleb Meir from 3196. Our timeline is a little screwy. Yes, but this is even screwier. We must figure out what these aliens are up to. They do not appear to be malevolent. However, they are puzzling. They've been keeping us at bay for some time. But you are one of the younger people. Wonder why they separated you.
Maybe his... I'm not sure why they would do that. Maybe his personality? Maybe he's a rebellious character and they don't like that. But that wouldn't stand to reason. Some of the people they grabbed were rebellious characters. All archetypes of Cillian space, of course. And Star Trek.
We appear to be held here against our will and unable to function. Think about what's going on. They're not manipulating us, though. They're just having us crawl through corridors. It is not psychological. Oh, there's not their motivation. I believe I sense that it is curiosity. However, those of us with powers, for some reason, don't have as much power. How is that possible? How are they dampening it? Space powers? Hey, space powers, like my girlfriend? She can melt your brain. She's a betazoid. She has space powers. Yeah.
There's at least 2 of those surveillance ships. And yeah, they can melt their brain. Yeah. Younger one's not around, though. The 2 younger ones are at a camp. They're not here.
Yes, they are not here. The older sister, however, is. And she is rather annoyed. Eldor, try to use your powers to scan through the walls and find a way out of here. Very well. It doesn't seem to be working.
Should I make a captain's log entry? Now that I'm dressed up in the uniform from this time period. Hi, I, Genesis Life, am the captain of this mission. Will lead us all to victory. Yes. What? No comment? Yeah. No comment, kid. I'm a Diratal. And yeah, I have no comment for you. By the way, where'd your friend go? Where's Caleb at? I don't know. That's really odd. What's going on? I am the series Acclamation Mill. I can't be far away from the other holographic people. I'll break or something. What do I do?
We are very, very far away from your holographic people. Several centuries, I think. This appears to be the early 25th century. Who says this? Grey Tau. Well, a facsimile. Grey Tau. Well, a facsimile of him anyway. I'm sort of an android with a trill inside me, which kind of doesn't make sense, but we went with it anyway. Yeah, and she's sort of my on and off again girlfriend.
Your on and off again girlfriend. How does that work? The show that predates yours, Discovery, didn't make it altogether clear. But yeah, pretty much, they didn't know what to do with either of us. They brought us on board because we were non-binary, but then they made us a boyfriend and girlfriend. Kind of negating us being non-binary at all. Yeah. They didn't know what they were doing. At least this Cal Cat guy seems to have some fun with it. Makes us actually do cool things, like go to anomalies and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, we seem to be in the 25th century. Either we're still on the ship, or this is some facsimile.
Well, as you know, I'm Tamara Sidal. What you do not know is that for some reason I resemble Deanna Troy, but we're of no relation. It's a coincidence. Coincidence. There's a lot of coincidences around here. For instance, one of my counterparts resembles someone named Talia, but you're Tamara, so that's kind of similar. Yeah. Anyway, so how are we gonna get out of here? Any ideas? Before I have another panic attack? I do not know. Whatever's controlling this is beyond me. It should be something simple, though. I mean, it's the 25th century, not the 32nd. I should be able to figure it out.
And even though I resemble Janeway, the coordinates on this console are weird. I should look like one of the Rumbly characters, but I look like a Janeway. Oh well. I guess they just had too many of those.
My character is not a descendant of anyone from the original show. Although with a name like Genesis, you'd think she would be. She'd be like a TMS person or something. Maybe First Press. But no, I don't think she is. I think she's just named after Genesis. The cat guy. From way back. No. I think she's named after Genesis. One of the cat guys from the original First Press On Location series. That is odd. Why do they keep doing that?
Why don't you use the console over there to try and figure out where we are?
We're inside an anomaly, about 1 AU in diameter. It's a space anomaly. Spatial. Inside the spatial anomaly, there are several starships, and several crews. Many of them seem to be manifest on a large megastructure at the center of it. Perhaps that's where the rest of the crews went. I don't know what transported us here, though. That is very strange. Where Caleb went off to? Have to find him. Can we leave this bridge?
So, it probably works like any other bridge. Let us try the door. My name is not important. I'm an alien creature. You've been brought here so that we may join with some of you. Yes. Some of you are compatible with us, just as our ancient, distant galactic cousins. We are the aliens. We are many groups together here. attempting to procreate so that we can return to our home system and dimension. Yes. And to do this, we must have young, virile people. None of the older ones here will do. No. So it is a bit like what happened in 2404, your time. But it also is different. That's messed up. I'll have you know that I'm extremely virile. Even now. I don't even need space Viagra or insight. Yeah. Not that I've been able to do anything like that since, got hitched to Ezra Dax. But, yeah. Yep. I'm a Locarno, though. I mean, come on. You feel like you're admitting to something you didn't do? Oh, I know the feeling. Crikey. This one time I had a blog where I referenced Cal Cat's blog in it. Didn't get his permission. He blocked me blog. Well, actually, technically, he gave me a cease and desist. And I had to change it. Oh, well. But then I did. Then I said it was the music. And I felt kind of guilty about lying about that. It wasn't the music. It was the blog. And then he put me in one of his Star Trek stories. I was okay with that.
That's almost as silly as in that Supergirl movie that I saw, in which that Supergirl lady kept saying, don't get revenge, and then she gets revenge at the end. Like, it's okay if she does it. Like, yeah, that's pretty silly. But other than that, yeah.
I do not understand. I am young and virile. I am Matrix. Very virile. Well,
I think it's probably because you're an android. Yeah.
My counterpart's not an android. Did you know he's a distant cousin of Hazel? Of course he is. It's all family. He's somehow a cousin. Yeah. As well as his friend Leo's also a cousin. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I suppose the android thing does make sense. Because, yeah, basically. How can a robot do that?
Why am I not good enough for their weird experiment?
Probably because you're not all there. Yeah, well, I mean, come on. Why would you want to be experimented on? It's messed up. Oh,
yeah. I probably wouldn't want to do that. Yeah.
You're here because, for whatever reason, you're not worthy of our experiment. It's a sort of a test, and we're holding you here. But don't worry. I'm sure it'll all make sense eventually. No, we seek the virile young people from out of time and space.
You could test us with riddles, like some of the other guys got, as they reported.
No, we cannot test you with riddles. Oh, no, we will not be doing that. Begone, you. Boing. Oh no, what the devil am I doing here? What is back on that other ship for some reason? Oh, there's someone in here. But it's not who it looks like. It's probably an alien.
I would say the same about you. But no, I'm really not the girl from the other ship. It's more complicated than that. My name is Kiriyoshi O'Brien.
Oh dear. I am also Kiriyoshi O'Brien. How does that even work? How odd.
It appears that we are from separate universes. In my universe, I was born a girl. And obviously, I'm the daughter of Kira and Bashir. I mean, obviously. Look at me. And you appear to be a son of Bashir. You're also Kiriyoshi, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Oh no, it's a paradox. Of course, technically our counterparts aren't them at all, so I guess it doesn't matter, but yes. Originally, Kiriyoshi was not a boy. Go back to the old DS9 show. Yes. Or rather, the DS9 station. Yes, that's it. Yes, it's like reality and fantasy are blended together in a weird pastiche. How do we get out of here?
We don't. I guess we don't. I came from the other direction. This ship, or whatever it is, has got a bunch of series of rooms, like something out of that movie I didn't actually see called Backrooms. Yeah. It's kind of annoying, but also kind of creepy.
Is there a Molly O'Brien in your timeline? There is in mine.
Oh, yes, there's a Molly O'Brien in my timeline. Yes.
In my timeline, they kept it a secret that Bashir and Kira were in fact shagging. But, of course, they made it look like it was her and Odo. It wasn't. What about yours?
Skirting around the Prime Directive, are we? And the temporal Prime Directive. Very well. No, it was totally mentioned in our timeline. Yeah, everyone knew. They could totally tell.
Suppose you wanted to do this all for a gag, right? Yes, a gag. Yes, there was a scene in here in which it was revealed that the counterpart of the girl that was born on Deep Space Nine about 30 years ago was actually a girl and not a boy. And then later on they said Kirio, she was a boy. And, well, the only way that would work is if he was trans, which I don't think he was. I think they just screwed up.
Well, you're every bit as talky as I am, I guess. Also, in the other timeline, we're clearly not those people anyway. Anyways. So, let's try and get out of here, if we can.
Well, my ship was either the Chimera A or the Legacy of the Esteban. What about yours?
Similar, except instead of it being the Esteban, it was the Emmett Till. Yeah. In my timeline, they sort of killed Nog. It was stupid, because the actor actually died. It was, like, disrespectful to him, but they didn't know. They went with it anyway. What about you?
Well, they did that in my timeline too, but they rescued Nog in mine. Yes, he became a fleet commander. And commands the Emmett Till A.
What I want to know is, did Sisko come back in your timeline? He came back in my timeline. And Jake Sisko became a great author, writing several books.
Sisko didn't come back in my timeline. And Jake Sisko only wrote one book, Aslan, but never published it. Yes, I wonder how he became famous after doing that. That's odd. I bet he's not even here. I bet it's just like the aliens.
Save it. No, it's probably not about him at all. Let's try to figure out a way out of here. I'm sure if we put our minds together, we can figure it out.
I suppose so. I suppose so.